Warning: viewer discretion is advised.
You're born around 1200 BCE in the rocky hills of ancient Israel. Not a son, a daughter, which means another mouth to feed when the bread already runs thin. Your hut leaks when it rains and bakes when it doesn't. Breakfast is moldy barley bread so coarse it cuts your gums. Your father works a patch of rocky ground that yields less grain each year. Your mother counts lentils while your baby brother cries from hunger. By 12, your body changes and your future changes with it. In this world, that means you're a woman. It also means you've become a calculation. The rains have failed, the goats are thin, and your father keeps staring at you like you're both his child and his last grain measure. He knows the law. Everyone does. A father can sell a daughter into service when the family is drowning. They quote scripture to make it feel clean. It doesn't feel clean. One morning, your father doesn't meet your eyes. A wealthy landowner has made an offer. Not for a servant, not for a wife, for a concubine. Coins clink on the table. Your mother weeps. Your father's bows so low he could lick the dirt. You climb into an ox cart with a scratchy blanket and moldy bread for the ride. You're not sure what's going on, but you never see your family again. Your childhood ends here. The ox cart rattles for hours over stone hills and dust roads. You pass vineyards clinging to terraces, olive groves heavy with dust, shepherd boys whistling to their flocks. The smell of pressed olives and goat dung drifts from roadside villages. You travel for 2 days till you reach Jerusalem. By evening, you're carried to a city of stone walls and sprawling estates. Storehouses bulge with grain. Olive presses stain the courtyards. Servants hurry past without looking at you. But the wife looks. She stares at you. She doesn't blink. Then she walks away. You're given a bed in a side room, a dress that isn't new, and a list of rules. Speak softly. Eat what you're given. Do not contradict the wife. And remember why you're here. Sons, not a wife, but above a slave. Something in between. Your first days blur into routine. Grinding grain until your shoulders ache. Carrying well water jars that bite into your hands. Folding cloaks and stacking oil jars while the steward checks every item. Your birthday comes by. You're 13 now, but no one notices, except for the master. He gives you a sly smile and walks away. The wife notices, her face blank. She walks away as well. At Sabbath, you stand behind the wife as she blesses the bread. Her hands on top, yours below. The message is clear. She is first. You are not. Servants don't speak to you unless ordered. The wife speaks only to correct you. The master barely speaks at all. That first night comes sooner than you expect. The servants don't explain much. They just light oil lamps and drape the master's chamber with heavy curtains that smell of smoke and goat farts. The wife pretends not to notice, but she lingers long enough to remind everyone who's still in charge. Then she leaves you standing there like a servant who's been dismissed. The master doesn't waste time. There are no vows, no blessings, no sweet talk. You're standing there with a thin robe, shaking. The master touches your face. He smiles. Your heart beats fast, but not for joy. You're about to faint, just standing there, but then you remember the only instructions you got from the older maid. Stay quiet. Don't embarrass the household. That's it. One moment you're a daughter, the next, you're property. Congratulations, you're officially a concubine now. After it's over, you lie in bed, shaking and leaking. The older servants come to comfort you, but it doesn't help. You feel empty. A memory of you and your younger brother comes to mind. It comforts you a little. You remember your mother's bread and bean soup. You fall asleep. Days turn into weeks. One moon bleeds late. The next doesn't come. The steward's wife notices first. The house shifts. The master increases your portions. The wife lets you stand closer behind her. Servants bow deeper. You're not a person, you're a promise. You hear that pregnancy is dangerous. It can raise your status, or it can kill you. The labor drags through the night. You scream into mats while incense stings your eyes. Other women whisper prayers outside the door. At dawn, another cry joins yours. A boy. For a moment, you think you matter. You don't. You're useful, and useful is never safe. Seasons pass. You learn how gossip works. At the well, women lower their voices when you walk past. In the storerooms, a servant hides a cracked jar and blames you for it. Every mistake belongs to the concubine. Then a new girl arrives on an ox cart with the same blanket and wide eyes. You're told to teach her the rules. You see yourself in her face. You realize you were never the solution. You were just the season before hers. Not long after, the wife grows heavy with a child. A boy. The house erupts. Your son kisses his half-brother's forehead. Everyone cheers. You force a smile, but inside, it feels like choking. No matter what you do, you'll always be second. The years blur. Your son grows strong in the fields, quick with numbers, careful with words. He is praised when he succeeds, blamed through you when he fails. The steward starts using him for errands. The master nods at him in approval. The wife smiles politely but never warmly. Her son's future is written in law. Yours shrinks by the season. The law says it's fair. The law always favors the wife's son, never yours. Then the master dies in his sleep. The elders gather. Witnesses crowd the courtyard. The inheritance is read aloud. The wife's son takes the lion's share. Your son takes the scraps. A field at the edge. A fraction of the flocks. The elders' words sound polite, but to you, they taste like ash. Your boy lowers his eyes. The wife's son stands tall, carried forward on pride. Everyone sees the difference. No one questions it. You keep your room, smaller now. You pour wine for guests who don't say your name. You teach younger girls how to bow without looking up. You fade into the background. Time moves on without you. New concubines arrive, younger, prettier, hungrier. You become the woman people pass in the courtyard without noticing. Your son becomes a man with responsibilities but not authority. He knows exactly where he stands. Everyone does. Sometimes you catch your reflection in a polished bowl. The girl your father sold is gone. What's left is someone with no name. When you die, they'll say the house was blessed with sons and full storehouses. They won't say your name. They never did. That is why it sucks to be born a concubine in ancient Israel. Not a wife with honor, not a servant with escape. Just property. Useful until you're not.